The big boy Snorlax Gigantamax form is coming to Pokemon Go. During the Max Battle Day, today we're going through the best way to take it down, how to take it down easily, and pretty much just every tip you need to know. So this event is going to be Saturday, April 19th from 2 to 5 p.m. your local time. The event bonuses of a max particle collection limit will be increased to 1,600 instead of the regular 1,000-ish. All power spots will also host a Gigantamax Snorlax battle, and they will refresh every 30 minutes, so not hard to find these battles. You also get ×8 max particles from power stops, so 800 max particles per power stop, and a new bonus, 2 additional special trades during the day for a max of 3. Really cool they're adding this, especially because these are events where people meet up, so you can do more trades. There'll also be an extended bonus starting before the event and ending after. April 19th from 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can have 2 times max particles from exploring, so 600 max particles for walking to prep your max particles, and quarter adventuring to receive max particles, so 0.5 kilometers to receive 600 max particles. Just makes it really easy to get these max particles so you can start to take on the bosses. There'll be a timed research available Monday, April 16th, 6 a.m. to Saturday, April 19th, 5 p.m. This timed research will help us get ready for this max battle day, and it's already in Pokemon Go. It will lead you to a reward of a Dynamax Machop candy, most likely Machop candy and a Candy XL, and max particles. Pretty much just allows you to get you a free Machop so you can power it up and actually use something good on this max battle day. There'll also be a ticketed ticket, of course, that you can ticket. They just love tickets. In the Pokemon Go store, it's going to be $5 USD. In the web shop, you can buy it for $4.99 USD and get a free max particle pack. So if you're going to buy this ticket, buy it in the web store, you get free stuff. This ticket will get you a timed research that will give you a max mushroom, 25,000 XP. Remember, you do have to complete before 5 p.m. on April 19th, but this ticket will also give you the bonus of 2 times XP from max battles. So 50,000 XP per max battle you complete, and the max particle collection limit increased to 5,600, allowing you to get a bunch more max particles. Now, how do we take on the big man Snorlax? Here are the best counters to take it on. Well, Snorlax is going to be a pure normal type Pokemon, so it's only going to be weak to fighting, and its 100% IV is going to be 1843. So if you get an 1843, you have 100 Gigantamax Snorlax, which is pretty cool. The charge attack Snorlax can use are Body Slam, Skull Bash, Hyper Beam, Heavy Slam, Outrage, Earthquake, and Superpower, a big variety. Now let's talk about the best moves Snorlax could have to make it easiest to take down. Now, Gigantamaxes have 2 attacks. Their large attack, which are spread moves, hit all the Pokemon you can't dodge, and then their target attack, which will focus on one person's Pokemon, and you can actually dodge this move if you get that little spider sense above your head. That's when you're going to want to swipe and dodge. Now, the ideal move set for Gigantamax Snorlax is going to be Body Slam or Heavy Slam. These moves are going to deal less damage to your Pokemon, and tanky Pokemon like Metagross can resist these moves. So if the Snorlax is too hard, you can back out of the lobby, back in. It's going to switch the moves and look for one of those moves. If its large attack, by the way, is Earthquake, Hyper Beam, Outrage, or even Skull Bash, you might need to re-lobby because this is just going to smack everybody in the lobby up. So consider that. Okay, what are the best counters? Well, the recommended attacking Pokemon. These are the Pokemon you're going to switch into when you Dynamax or Gigantamax. Number 1, Dynamax Machamp with counter and cross chop. It's going to be the best Pokemon to deal super effective damage against Snorlax. Remember to power up your max attack on your Machamps to level 2 or max level if you can. Dynamax Pissimian with counter and Brick Break is a secondary option. It's going to have less damage output than Dynamax Machamp, but if it's all you have, go with it. It will make it a little bit more bulky though. Next up, Dynamax Phalanx with counter and Brick Break. Whilst Machamp and Pissimian are better, Phalanx is a good option if you don't have those. Remember, also upgrade its max attack to max if you can. Now, in terms of just general attackers, Gigantamax Kingler, if you don't have those, with Metal Claw and Crabhammer, just a hard-hitting Gigantamax Pokemon you can switch into and use as an attacker, and same with Gigantamax Toxtricity with Spark and maybe Power Up Punch. Again, like Kingler, it's just a glass cannon Pokemon that just does huge damage. So if you can't do super effective damage, go with one of these. Again, for all these Pokemon, remember to max out their Gigantamax or Dynamax move. Now, recommended defender Pokemon. These are the Pokemon that you're going to be in the battle with and tank moves as you build your max meter right before you Dynamax and switch out. The best one is going to be Dynamax Metagross with Zen Headbutt and Meteor Mash Legacy or Psychic. Metagross is the GOAT of max Pokemon. It's going to resist so many moves and it's so tanky. So this Pokemon is just amazing to have. If the Snorlax does have Earthquake, do be a little bit more careful, but Metagross does resist 4 of 7 of Snorlax's moves. Next up, Gigantamax or Dynamax Blastoise, another good tank Pokemon with Water Gun and Hydro Cannon. Again, Gigantamax is better than the non-Gigantamax, but still. Next up, Dynamax Articuno with Frost Breath and Triple Axle. It's an expensive Pokemon to go ahead and max out, but it can resist a lot of moves like the Earthquake that the Snorlax has, and it is a naturally defensive Pokemon with a defense stat of 236. Be careful for Heavy Slam though if you're using this Pokemon. Finally, Dynamax Zapdos, Thunder Shock Legacy move, and Thunder. Again, very expensive to max out, but it can resist Earthquake, Heavy Slam, and Superpower, a good tanky Pokemon. Remember, by the way, on all these tank Pokemon to go ahead and instead of upgrading their max attack, because you're not going to use it, either unlock max Spirit and level it up so you can go ahead and heal Pokemon in the lobby, or use max Guard so you can set up a couple shields and take less damage. Also, recommended to set a max party before the battle. In your battle menu, you can go ahead and set a party. Create a party. I'd recommend having 2 tanks and 1 attacker. So 2 of those tanky Pokemon and then 1 attacker in the back. So like 2 Metagrosses and, you know, a Machamp. That's probably the best party you could have. Your attack Pokemon, by the way, is in the back. So when you go ahead and Dynamax, you switch out into that to do big damage and then switch back because it's glassy. Now, do remember, if all your Pokemon do end up fainting, cheering is still huge. Cheering is actually going to accelerate the max meter, allowing you to Dynamax a lot quicker. So once your Pokemon do faint, don't just give up. Go ahead and cheer as quick as you can because you can still end up winning the battle. When the max boss does come in rage, by the way, after 6 minutes, it's going to be really, really hard to defeat the max boss at that point. So if you can't defeat it before 6 minutes, maybe try re-lobbying and trying a different strategy. If you are struggling, by the way, to take down Gigantamax Snorlaxes, remember you can use max mushrooms. These are an item that you can use either before or while you're in the max lobby. And for 30 minutes, it's going to give you double damage while you're in a max battle. It only works on yourself, which is unfortunate, but still, if you want to do more damage, you can go with that. Is it worth it? Yes and no. If you're in a small group, you might need to use max mushrooms to take it on. I would recommend trying it without max mushrooms. If you need it, then people might want to consider activating them. There is a 5-minute free trial of the max mushroom effect if you haven't used it yet, which if you're a new player, you can try that out and that might help. In terms of how many people Gigantamax Snorlax is going to take down, if you can do it with less than 12, let me know. But overall, again, the best way to take on these Gigantamaxes is with the most amount of people. And again, as long as you guys have powered up Machamps with their max attacks leveled up, have a defender, and then use max mushrooms, you should be fine taking this down. Is this Pokemon worth getting though? That's the question. Yes, but only as a tank Pokemon. Like Blissey, Gigantamax Snorlax can be an excellent tank Pokemon. It's naturally bulky, and it was an OG gym defending Pokemon. So, like we mentioned before, as tank Dynamax Pokemon, Snorlax could fill that role in the future for other bosses you might use. It doesn't have the highest attack stat, so it's not going to be the craziest damage outputter, but it can be really, really nice, especially against things like Gigantamax Gengar, which can really not touch Gigantamax Snorlax unless they have like Focus Blast, because you resist all the moves and you can even get Lick on your Snorlax. Useful Pokemon for the collection and also good as a gym defender, so go ahead and grab it if you can. Okay, what are the best tips now to take advantage and get more out of this event? Well, first of all, download all assets in the advanced section of your settings. This will download all assets to your game phone, making it for a much smoother gameplay experience. You can also go ahead and use native refresh rate. This is going to go ahead and when you turn it on, use your phone's native refresh rate, which is going to be much, much smoother. Now, how do we maximize our free max particles? This one's for those free-to-play players. If you're a free-to-play player, follow these steps to get an additional free Gigantamax Snorlax battle. Make sure you stack over 12,000 max particles the day before. This will mean that you will not spend any max particles on Friday, but in doing this, you're getting an extra free Gigantamax Snorlax battle. Now, you want to collect up to 900 max particles from power spots, but you don't want to collect any more and don't go over 1,000. Then you're going to claim your 300 max particles from walking. Once you hit around 900 max particles, you can claim another 3,000. You can get up to 12,000 max particles. Next up, don't claim your free max particles from the free timed research we get. Though for the week-long free timed research, same as Dynamax Raikou, you should be able to get up to 1,400 max particles for free. You can go ahead and hold on to these max particles so that you can go ahead and use them on another Gigantamax Snorlax once the day comes. Finally, number 3, make sure to claim 600 max particles before claiming 1 max particles from a power spot. This is a confusing trick, but it works. During this event, we get a limit of 1,600 max particles, and every time you walk 0.5, you claim an extra 600. So if you claim 800 max particles from your first power stop, then claim 600 max particles from walking, you will have 1,400 max particles out of 1,600 max particles. So then if you claim another 800 max particles, you will get a total of 2,200 max particles, an additional 600. So follow the strategies in that order and you can get a total of 4,800 max particles for free, which will work out as 6 free Gigantamax Snorlax battles. If you attend a community ambassador meetup as well, you can check in and get a free timed research that can get you 800 more max particles. So another free Gigantamax Snorlax battle. So plenty of max particles to be claimed during this event. Now, if you do have the ticket as well, you can get even more than this. The strategy for anyone with the ticket, you're going to go ahead and collect up to 4,800 max particles from just the power spots. Then claim the 600 max particles from walking 0.5 kilometers. That's going to put you at 5,400 out of 5,600 max particles. And then you can go ahead and claim from another power spot, boosting up to 6,200 max particles. So there's a huge strategy in which when do you claim what? And the strategy is just you want to get as close to the limit as possible, and then you want to claim another thing because you can fly past that limit because it's a soft limit. Also, if you save those 1,400 max particles from the day before you attend a community ambassador meetup, you can get up to 12 Gigantamax Snorlax battles from buying the ticket, which can you even do that in the 5 hours? I don't know, maybe it's too much. Quick reminder, by the way, your max particle limit does refresh at 5 a.m. every single day. Okay, how do we get a lot of candy for Snorlax? Because this is a Pokemon that is kind of rare, and how do we take advantage of that? Well, number one, anytime you're trying to catch a Gigantamax Snorlax, use a Pineapple Berry or a Silver Pineapple Berry. Pineapple Berries multiply catching by 2 and Silver's by 2.34. You might be like, Dax, it's going to make it harder to catch Pokemon. I'll go through a tip on how to make it easier in a bit. Also, Mega Evolve either a Mega Pidgeot, Kangaskhan, Lopunny, or Audino. These are all Megas that are normal type. Share the type with Snorlax. You're going to be getting more candy, XP, and XL candy for catching Snorlaxes if you have one of those Megas active. Also, make sure you Mega Evolve the Pokemon before the event. It does last 8 hours, just so you don't forget to have it active. Also, to grind candy, you can leave Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon at power spots during this event. This is not only going to make it easier for other people who battle at these power spots to take on the boss, but it's also going to get you free candy every time there is a battle at that power spot. So leave Pokemon like Lapras, Toxtricity, Snorlax, legendary Pokemon at power spots, and even Kubfu, because this will get you candies for these Pokemon that are hard to get. Also, do remember that the rewards you can get from these are huge, and that's a big reason on why you want to actually play this event. You get 25,000 Stardust per Gigantamax boss and 25,000 XP, and you can spend 200 Pokecoins to double your rewards. Now, obviously, this is going to cost a decent amount, but taking 25,000 Stardust to 50,000 Stardust, and if you have a star piece, that's 75,000 Stardust. This is absolutely huge, and same thing goes with XP. On the topic of that, you definitely actually do want to have a star piece and Lucky Egg active during this whole event just because of the rewards, and the best way to do this is to party up. If you party up with your friends, you can use a Lucky Egg, and everyone's going to get 15 minutes of Lucky Egg. If you use it on yourself, that's 30 minutes of Lucky Egg. So you're doubling the value of your Lucky Egg. So the strategy is party up with friends, drop 4 Lucky Eggs, 4 star pieces. Everybody do that. You guys will all get 4 hours of each of those for only the price of 4 of each. Sharing is caring, and this is a good way to get more out of your items. This will also mean you're gonna be getting double XP and double Stardust. I think it's gonna be like, if you're on the ticket, 100,000 XP per Gigantamax battle, 50,000 Stardust per Gigantamax battle, and even more if you double it. Anyway, the gains are huge. Don't sleep on it. Now, remember I talked about using Pineapple Berries earlier for Snorlax candies because they're hard to get. Well, Snorlax is kind of tough to catch, so the best way to make it easier is to use the Ice Burn Adventure Effect from White Kyurem. This is going to give you a 1.5 times catch multiplier, making it easier to catch Snorlaxes during the day. So activate this for the 3 hours if you can, if you're going to be doing a lot of battles. It's also going to go ahead and slow down that catch circle, making it easier to hit excellent throws. If you have Black Kyurem's Free Shock Adventure Effect, you can use this, but it only gives a 1.25 times catch multiplier, so I'm not sure why you would ever choose it over Ice Burn. So go with Ice Burn, go with White Kyurem. You do get limited Premier Balls as well for these Gigantamax battles, so it's good. Speaking of excellent throws, if you do want to evolve a Galarian Farfetch'd into a Surfetch'd, make it your buddy during this event because you can land 10 excellent throws pretty easily to make that evolution. Also, remember to arrange lucky trades. We do have 2 extra special trades during the day for a total of 3. You're going to be finding plenty of trainers out there. Even if you aren't lucky friends with people at the event, still do your special trades because you never know, a random shiny Calm Day mirror trade could become a Shundo. Also, if you have any old 2019 or older shiny Pokemon, or some people do have them, you can follow the guaranteed lucky strategy. I'll put a video below on how to do that. That's really good to do at events to try to get in some Shundo trades. Speaking of people, if you want to find people, go to Community Ambassador Meetups, download Campfire, and then sort by meetups and look for the Community Ambassador hosted meetups. This is where trainers are going to be all going, and if you go to one of these meetups and you check in, you will get that free timed research we talked about, getting you 800 max particles. Specifically, the tasks are win 2 max battles for 5,000 XP, catch a max Pokemon for 5 Great Balls, power Pokemon 10 times for 2,000 Stardust, and that will get you 800 max particles. This is just amazing. It's going to get you just like take the free max particles. Go to these meetups, check in, and this is a great place to find people to trade with. Finally, while you are in a party in a meetup, if you are checked in, you're going to get 25% less egg incubator distance. So if you plan on hatching eggs or you love hatching eggs, that's another reward of going to these meetups. Guys, watch the other 2 videos on the screen. Actually, watch this video if you want to learn how to do guaranteed lucky trades and follow for more tips. Peace.